Good morning and welcome to the Naglieri Nonverbal Abilities Test, 2nd edition, Turnaround Flipped Training. So the window is from November 17th until November 21st, and the Naglieri is for certain students in grades 2 through 7 without an abilities test, or who the school believes would benefit from having a second abilities test on file, or students who previously tested whose parents wish to exercise their one-time test option. So these are the different levels for grades 2 through 7. First grade this year will be taking an online version of the Naglieri in March. So the benefits of the NNAT 2. As a nonverbal abilities test, it is unbiased towards minority and LEP students, is unbiased towards hearing, language, and physically impaired students, and can identify at-risk students with low nonverbal reasoning ability. The purpose of the NNAT 2. It measures the general ability and a predictor of scholastic achievement for all children in all grades. Helps identify students with high reasoning and problem-solving abilities, and it is used for the advanced academic program as part of their screening process for acceptance into the AAP program. So the types of questions are pattern completion, PC, reasoning by analogy, RA, serial reasoning, SR, and spatial visualization, SV. Pattern completion items require the child to look at a design within a large rectangle which has a portion missing and determine which responses complete the pattern. Reasoning by analogy items require the student to recognize a logical relationship between several geometric shapes. The student must see how an object changes as it appears in the squares across the rows and down the columns of the design. Serial reasoning items incorporate a series of shapes that change across the rows horizontally and within the columns vertically throughout an item. As each shape appears in the square down the matrix, it also D, E, and F will have a separate answer document. You will be given number 2 pencils. You should have a watch or a clock with a second hand, and you will be given a do not disturb sign for the door. You will sign in and out your testing materials the morning of testing. Please remember these are machine scorable documents. We cannot have crayons, pens, or colored pencils, just number 2 pencils only. Mark the response, circle completely, and erase mistakes thoroughly. The only marks in a booklet should be the bubbled answers. For grade 2, the NNAT 2 level C, it's in the book. Mark in book accommodation. We cannot staple, tear, or fold pages of the booklet. This is an example of the test booklet transmittal form that you will sign in and out. During the testing, review samples and follow directions. Please, please, please stay with the script. There's one set of directions for students without a separate answer document, and there's a different set of directions for students with an answer document. We will be combining grade levels if they are recording in the answers in the same manner. So we'll be looking at combining students in grades 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. You must circulate around the room during testing. Ensure the students are responding in the correct locations. You have to be sure the students are using a number 2 pencil. Please, for those students in 2nd grade that are taking this test, ensure students are not skipping pages, and that really is for all students, but especially for our younger ones. Encourage students who are slowing down. Answer only those questions about marking answers or turning pages in the book. The IEP team or 504 committee determines which students with disabilities will test and what accommodations will be provided. Students with disabilities must test if the IEP states the student will participate in a division-wide assessment using classroom accommodations if required and allowed by the test. Students with disabilities may test without accommodations, with standard accommodations, and with non-standard accommodations. Please note, certain IEP accommodations may not be available for the NNAT 2 because they would invalidate the results. So these are standard accommodations, large print, interpretation of directions, breaks during test, students respond verbally. We have to have a rule of 2, which means we have to be sure that we are recording our session using Audacity on our computer. Placekeeper, amplification, mark and test booklet, transcription form is needed, and written directions. Mark and test booklet accommodation for grade 2. If students have the MIB accommodation due to difficulty transferring the answer from booklet to answer sheet, then they do not get this accommodation. If a student with fine motor issues has difficulty bubbling the answers then they will get the MIB accommodation. So we have an adult as a transcriber, the second adult as a verifier, and both adults must sign the transcription verification sheet. For students who have the MIB accommodation, we will not give them the answer document. The first adult will transcribe the answers from booklet to the answer document. The second adult will verify and bubble correctly. And we must fill out the sheet for those students. Non-standard accommodations, extended time, which is time and a half. So they will get, instead of 30 minutes, they will get 45 minutes. Not available is Braille, audio cassette version, reading test items allowed. And not applicable are the ones that are listed there. LEP students may have accommodations. They may be included in the NNAT. The participation in testing is determined by the school's LEP committee, which is your grade level team that includes an administrator and your ESOL teacher. Examiners should ensure LEP students understand the directions prior to the administration. So accommodations for LEP students, breaks during the test, visual aids, mark and test booklet, and student responds verbally. So again, rule of 2. They are allowed extended time, that is non-standard. Unavailable accommodations for LEP students are bilingual dictionaries, English dictionary, plain English, or the read aloud. And that concludes our flipped training. Please see Debbie or Erica if you have any questions. Have a great day.